Radio merchandise is finally here. Go to soundchatradio.com right now so you can purchase your t-shirts and sweatshirts for children and adults in different color and sizes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like, and leave your comments. And also make sure you press that notification bell so you can be the first to see Wagwan when it drops.
People have all of these conversations online about, where the industry went wrong and what's killing the industry and who killed the industry. Some of you even look at the Irish and Chin and the World Class Series and say, we killed the industry and blah, blah, blah. But you know what's killing the industry? What nobody talks about? That's really helping to kill Sound Clash even faster than ever? Sound Clash pricing. The pricing that sound systems are charging to compete in the Sound Clash arena, it's helping faster than anything to kill Sound Clash. Now, most of the people who point, who are pointing fingers about what and who killed Sound Clash, right? They're never going to talk about the pricing of, performance pricing, because then that would be pointing a finger at themselves, right? But this is a major situation. Sound systems are charging $10,000, not worth it. $15,000, not worth it. $20,000, not worth it to compete in the Sound Clash arena. And this seems to be like a new global trend that, sound systems are now feeling like, if you want to see me compete, this is what it's going to cost. And, this is happening for numerous reasons. And I think a lot of the people who have now jumped into it and has doubled their Sound Clash price don't even understand why it initially happened in the first place. So everybody's being fooled by this whole, dub plates cost so much, that's why sound systems are charging more, and that makes sense. So me as a sound man, may have to charge more for my clash performance too, because, the sound systems that are bigger than me also raise their price because it's dub plates. But dub plates is an excuse. There is high dub plate prices, and I'll talk about that on another episode of my YouTube channel, right? But that's not really it only, right? This whole overcharging of sound systems situation comes from ego and bad mind. One incident happened in the U.S. Right? That changed the face of sound system, Sound Clash pricing in the arena. One, competition took place in the U.S. with a yard saw a couple of years ago. That particular sound decided that they didn't want to clash unless they get X amount of money. Now, the number that I got was either 20,000 or close to 20,000. So for conversation's sake, I'm going to round it up to $20,000. The sound system charged $20,000. The promoter agreed to pay $20,000, and things have not been the same since. There's a couple of things that we got to look at. One, a sound system is, you can't tell a man what his price is, right? So whatever you think you're worth, I guess that's what you're worth. But I'm not expecting the industry to accommodate, what you think you're worth at, in all situations. So, and again, great sound system, wicked sound system. But there is a chain reaction when you decide that you're going to put your bar to $20,000. Yes, it benefits you at the moment. But then what happens after also becomes your fault. And I'm not saying like these sound systems care that they ropes up the thing because they got their money, right? Now, on the other hand, because here's the thing, if you throw a number out there and a promoter takes it, I don't know if you're wrong for accepting it's like, I'm on the fence with this, that part of the situation, because it's kind of like, yo, I don't really want to do the clash because it's going to cost me too much. But if you pay me this, since you keep calling my phone, then I'll do it. Then the promoter says, well, yeah, I'm going to work it out where I can pay you that. So the sound system takes it, right? Now, some of you saying it's just business, and I get it. I'm cool with it just being business. But at the same time, it would be a very good industry if all of us did business in the benefit of not only ourselves, because we got to do business in the benefit of ourselves, but not only ourselves, but in the future of the Sound Clash arena as well. Because here's the thing. All of you that call yourself sound men and sound women and dub plate cutters and, sound killers or whatever, if there's no Sound Clash arena, your legacy dies. So if the Sound Clash arena becomes null and void, then there's no reason to talk about how many clashes you won, how many, countries you traveled to. None of that shit makes sense because there's no more arena, right? So this is why I say that in order for us to, have a legacy, have our contributions remembered, it is beneficial for things to continue going the best way it can. You don't want a boring Sound Clash arena. You don't want an empty Sound Clash arena. You want a Sound Clash arena that's vibrant and full of competition and, and sparking with new talent, because that's the way your contributions are always going to be included. People are always going to talk about it. I remember when such and such did this. I remember when that happened. Me remember this, because it's a conversation centered around an active arena, right? So again, a sound system takes the 20 grand. Okay, cool. It's a payday. Then it transfers into every single sound system now saying, okay, well, if a promoter can pay that for that person, and I'm just as good as that person, or I'm going to kill that person there, I'm going to kill as much sounds as that person has killed, I want that money too. You see where the problem comes? So now, people started to look at it and say, well, if them the man they get that money there, then I'm charging too low. So every other promoter who comes after this promoter, who made his decision to pay or overpay, some of you may say, right, has also made the decision simultaneously to put a pothole in the Sound Clash arena. Not saying that they were thinking, because guess what? Sometimes we think about the immediate moment and we don't think about the long run. I think we're all guilty of that. But the facts are the facts. This incident single-handedly changed the pricing situation in Sound Clash culture. Now you pick up your phone and you call an Elite Sound, and the Elite Sound is saying to you, yo, I want this amount of money, or else I'm not doing it. And you're saying, but the venue can't hold, the numbers don't, the numbers can't work. And they're like, I don't care. I want this type of money, or else I'm not doing it. Now, that has nothing to do, or very little to do, with the cost of dub plates. It has everything to do with ego and touch a bad mind too. Because you knew somebody else got it, you're not willing to go without it, because that sound system the more than you. So now everything has changed. You got sound systems that are pretty much worth maybe $2,500 for a Sound Clash, now asking for 10 grand and 8 grand. You got sound systems that would be worth 8 grand that's asking for 15 and 20 grand to compete. How is that sustainable in the long run? Now, here's the crazy thing about it. Everybody's worth their pulling power. I believe that. So if you, as a sound man or a sound team, wants to charge $20,000 for a Sound Clash, and I know that 1,000 people is gonna come just because you're on the clash, I'm gonna pay you your money. You're worth your weight in gold. But that's not the situation.
Yo, what's good? You ain't get that Soundchat merch yet? What you waiting on? You bugging. Go to soundchatradio.com right now and get that merch. Get yourself right.
So these people who have moved from $2,000 or $3,000 to $10,000, from $8,000 to $15,000 to $20,000, right? What we gotta also understand is their pulling power has not moved along with their pricing. It has not. They're still pulling the same amount of people that they used to pull when they were charging $8,000 for a sound clash, or $2,500 for a sound clash. So how does it ultimately work out? One decision to pay one sound system for a one-on-one competition has changed the course of sound booking fees in the Clash arena, that now has made it difficult or impossible for promoters to make money. So therefore, we're having less and less promoters in the Sound Clash arena because they don't want to risk their investment because they know they're not going to make it back. So less promoters mean less events. Less events means less competitions, less champions being built in the arena, less trophies being given out in the arena. But hold on a second. The man who's charging $20,000 and 15 and 8 and 10, even though they're not getting the bookings, they're still cutting the dubs. They're still paying the $850, the $1,200, the $1,500 for the exclusive songs, because they know that they got to keep their dub box up to date, so when they get the call, they can still clash in the arena. So basically, they're holding out for the big money, right? That booking is not coming, but in the midst of that booking not coming, they're still spending the big money on dubs. How can this only be about dub plate prices then? How comes, people are saying that, we have to charge a promoter extra money because of dub plates? How? How is that? First of all, dub plate artillery is not the promoter's responsibility, not his or her problem. The promoter is doing a different aspect of business. Their aspect of business is soliciting or exploiting, I should say, your talent, right? Putting 2 sound systems or 3 sound systems together, marketing that competition in order for them to make a profit off of it. That is their concern, and that is their only concern. Sound men, and I said this before, they just don't do business. Sound men are the only persons in our sound class, sound system culture that they're not doing business. If you go into a dub plate studio, right? The man that owns the studio is doing business. The engineer that's recording the dub plate for you is doing business. The artist that's coming in to sing or DJ the dub for you is doing business. The only person that's not doing business is you, the sound man, because you're not walking away with any profit. None. You're not walking away with any money on top of your investment. Everybody else that I mentioned is. So sound men are accustomed to not doing business from the beginning of time, because sound system thing has always been a hustle. You can't blame a promoter for that. Dub plate prices are crazy, and I get it. But I want you guys to understand the conversation from a different angle and a different perspective. Because one individual negotiated $20,000, everybody wants it, and everybody deserves it, according to them. But their pulling power has not changed. So the promoters are now being asked to pay more to make the same, or even make less. How does the industry move forward without promoters? Sound owners and selectors are not promoters. How does that work out? I had a conversation with a young soul man the other day, right? And he was saying to me, boy, Chin, the money that I hear some of these sounds are getting, this real story. I'm not clashing for less than 10 grand. Now, I didn't say it to him, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, the industry is fucked. Because he's not even worth 2 grand. But he's pricing himself based on what he feels everybody else is getting in the market. What I should have asked him was, when is the last time you clashed? Because they're not clashing. Now, the fact of the matter is also this. A lot of the elite sound systems, they have derived at this high price because they don't want to clash. That's another aspect that people are not looking at. It has nothing to do with dubs. Or it doesn't only have to do with dubs, because dubs is in there. But it's not the major thing that Soundman make it be this major dub plate dub. Nah, that's not it. That's not it at all. There's bigger factors. And we'll have the dub plate conversation, because the dub plate conversation is also helping to kill the industry. But it's a different conversation. A lot of the elite sound systems, they have decided that, winning another clash, killing these young sounds, going on another stage, winning another trophy, it doesn't mean anything to them. They've done it. They've been there. They've done that. A lot of them now are looking for the payday. So they overprice the competitions as a way to say, if you want me to do it, it has to be worth it for me. I don't care about your trophy. I don't care about winning. I care about the money that I'm going home with. So what they do is they charge you a big money where they can cut a little bit of dubs, but there's a nice little change left over for them to pocket it as an earning for the competition. Gone are the days when, the top selectors and sound systems really needed to win and they needed the title. So guess what? Every money the promoter paid them, they've spent it in the dub plate rooms, in the dub plate studios, and even put more on top of it. Now the big selectors want to go home with the money. They want to go home with the bag. So this is why you can hear someone call Rumble Talk representing, the elite selectors and say, yo, I'm on 60 grand for a clash. And I get it. It's not worth it, but I get why he's saying that. It's just not realistic. It's another way to say, I just don't want to clash. Because I'd rather you say that than say 60 grand. I'd rather you say that than say 20 grand. I'd rather a young sound say, I don't want to clash, instead of saying 10 grand. So this is where we are. When you guys are bringing up the dub plate thing, also bring up the cost that sound systems are causing to clash, charging to clash. They're telling you with a straight face, 15,000, 20,000. And you got to look at it and be like, how the hell can I make back that money? I can't make that money back. So let me get it. My job as a promoter, when I say mines, I'm not speaking me. I'm talking about promoters. I'm speaking for you. So, my job as a promoter is to put out my money to keep an event, for you to win a title, just for me to come home broke? Just for you to be able to brag and say, yo, Mokila song last night? How does that work? A lot of y'all might not, want to hear what I have to say. Some of you feel like every time I open my mouth, it's a problem for you guys. But this is facts. You know what I mean? You can't go around the facts. The reality of the situation is that I've played a lot of positions on the field of sound clash, right? Promoter, sound man, ba, 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 ba. And I'm telling you, from a promoter's perspective, it can't work. And it's not even working from a sound system's perspective, because even if you get the payday, how many times are you going to get it? How many promoters are going to be willing to spend on it? So you end up clashing once 2 years. How does that help your brand? Those of you who agree, leave your comments, man. Those of you who don't agree, leave your comments. I'm going to be doing having a series of conversations here called What Killed Sound Clash. All right, so definitely keep logged on to the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you didn't subscribe. And, we're just going to have different conversations centered around, the things that people talk about that killed the Sound Clash Arena and the things that people don't talk about that killed the Sound Clash Arena. All right? But I think I want to emphasize on what people don't talk about, because what people talk about becomes repetitive, right? And it's a cloud of smoke, because guess what? Sound men never want to be blamed for their stupidity. So we're going to blame the promoters, we're going to blame the patrons, we're going to blame everybody else except for ourselves. There is no sound in the industry that is worth $20,000 based on their pulling power. There's no sound in the industry that's worth $15,000 based on their pulling power. Listen, everybody has the right to put a value to what they own. That don't mean that you can sell it for that. That's my opinion. And I want to lean towards it being factual. Hit me up and leave your comments, man.
Thank you for watching another episode of Sound Chat Radio on Irish and Chin's YouTube channel. If you like what you saw, please subscribe by hitting the red button. If the button is still red, that means you did not subscribe. Also, like and share. And don't forget to leave a comment. In fact, press that notification button while you're at it.